Andromeda's this update has allowed a lot of businesses to be able to expand far beyond what they thought using more traditional means. That's for damn sure. No market is limitless. However, this is, as far as I have seen, one of the best ways and one of the best methodologies to expand the market and to deliver your brand message to a wider audience and expand your personal TAM for your brand, unlike anything else that I've ever seen in this platform. If I recall, the only ads that you were using in this ad account were just UGC. They were just like images of dogs. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right?
Yeah, and I actually had a conversation, and you're all going to actually just hop into my email. And here we're just going to take a trip together in my email campaign. So this honestly, this is there in my email. This was in October 6th, right? Yep. So this is 4 days ago. And that's what we're saying is here's my explanation of it. And you're not gonna be able to see this, but I'm just gonna kind of read it off to myself for memory.
Yeah.
I said
at John's email, by the way. We're reading John's email.
Reading my email box. I'm like, an interesting phenomenon with ad creative types. I do think UGC is the best type for us with volume. People love seeing happy dogs. That's very, very common. Like, no one hates to see a dog that was sick coming back to life. Everyone unanimously loves that. People very much get confirmation of their decision and are also introduced to us with the same UGC ad. But I do see better.
I would hide your email, by the way, unless you want to get deluged with spam. It's too late.
If you, I was gonna say, if you all click on that John Soleil, that thing's dead and gone for like the last 6 months now. But yeah, so here's what's funny is I'm like, an interesting phenomenon. I do think UGC is the best type. People very much get confirmation of their decision and are also introduced to us with the same UGC ad. But I do see better performance of our non-UGC ads. They've been consistently $50 to $100 cheaper with NCAC, not CPA and platform, NCAC. Now, what I said here is I would attribute, no pun intended, this to us introducing the product behind the story. People love dogs. They love dogs coming back from illness and love happy endings. Those are great ads. But I do think we tell the other side of the story, product highlight ads. So what we're seeing in the data flow is, hey, this dog was sick and now they're brought back to life. The people that didn't click it don't know why that dog is really happy. So we said, hey, remember that ad that you saw? And you've been seeing a few of them because we have like 25 UGCs running at once. Like, this is the product that did it and why. And all of a sudden people are like, oh, okay, bye. Or at least the added carts 10x. So while it works for us, capture their attention with happy, healthy puppies, then introduce the product afterwards, that seems to flow. Well, I could double the ad spend without hurting myself.
That was a question I had on another client call this week. They said, well, wait a second. Are you guys making ads in this new Andromeda thing without any calls to action? Like, everything is a website conversion ad technically, and it's all going to have either learn more, shop now, buy now, whatever it is. But in top of funnel ads, like, you're not really pushing for conversion, or are you? Like, what's the methodology there, especially when it comes to, the visual itself as well as the ad copy that's in the ad?
Yeah. The story does most of the ad copy.
Okay.
So unfortunately, might not be able to, obviously I can't even see this, but it'll say like 30 days ago, I went to a cancer specialist. So it's a story about the dog.
It's the story. Now, okay.
And then the call to action is learn more. This restored my dog's health. So it's almost like an advertorial.
So it's not really like, there's no link in the copy, no call to action in the copy. The copy is just reinforcing sort of the story that they're seeing visually through the UGC.
Yeah. Really, like, we do have like heavy experience.
Oh, you do have it. Okay.
Yeah, we have it. Yeah. This thing gets no clicks.
Okay.
This gets all the clicks to learn more, but it is something where it's like, this dog was sick and now they're back to health. And it's like, cool. If you have a sick dog, you're capturing attention. You may not click, but you're capturing attention, especially if it's around the same illness. Sure. So it's every single, I mean, you were in this space, like, many, many moons ago. It's the healthcare. It's like, do you wake up tired? You're like, oh my God, yes, I do. Yeah. It's like introducing sleep. You're like, wow.
That's an amazing thing.
Yeah. Here's the pain point. Unfortunately, the pain point, we address it by telling success stories that had similar pain points in the past than you may have right now. And that's how we're connecting with our market, but we're doing it with dog stories that are coming back to life. They're coming back to health. So what does everyone love? A happy, healthy dog. What does everybody not love? You want to buy immunity pills for your dog? Not really.
Yeah.
But I will if you connect those dots for me. And thank you, Andromeda.
For sure. You want the after state. You don't necessarily want the feature. You don't want the product itself. You just want the after state. So that's really what you're talking about here. Yeah. Way back when, there was a strategy that we deployed, this is like 3-4 years ago, before obviously Andromeda and all the stuff that's going on right now, is a video view to conversion campaign, which was like, all right, get your ideal audience just get them to view a video and then retarget those video views 3 seconds, 15 seconds, 50%, whatever it happens to be, to conversion campaigns. It never really worked because it was always like the objective was wrong because they were viewing the video, but they had no intent. And even back 3-4 years ago, when Meta was not what it is today with the Andromeda update, it still had very separate types of individuals within an interest grouping. In this case, obviously, we're now using open targeting, but it's like you're still using website conversion campaigns. You're showing them an ad similar to how we used to do it with those video view campaigns to conversion campaigns, which never really worked. Right. I don't really know why, but it really was because Meta had identified, these are video watchers, but they're not necessarily converters.
You're putting this in 2017, 2018. That's when it really started to hit, where it's like, I want link clicks, and you're like, you're getting all the clicks. Like, did I get a sale? You're like, didn't ask for that. You got all the clicks. Exactly.
You get all the clickers.
Yeah.
But in this, it's advantage plus sales, and it's like sale, like that is the objective. So even if they're not clicking, there's still
potential
for them to convert because Meta has data on all of us. They know our proclivity to watch, click, purchase on the platform itself, and they understand all that sort of behind it. So that old strategy, or like the clicks first, like remember way back when Meta first started, Facebook came out with ads in the newsfeed. It was you do clicks campaigns and then you do conversion campaigns.
Right. You warm them up, get them familiar, and then try to convert them. Yeah.
We were trying to do all of this to like expand the market.
Feeder.
Yeah, it's like an old school feeder strategy. Basically, it was a feeder strategy. And
we're not doing anything different here. We're just rolling through the same thing for the last 30 years, just with different mediums.
Yeah, but there's a sales intent with these audiences that even if you're going open targeting, like you're doing here, I assume there's no targeting. There's just geography, correct?
Yeah. There's no targeting, inclusion, exclusions. We
no
gave
targeting
months ago.
no targeting. That's crazy. Who was I talking to this past week? Actually, a woman who's in our space. I was like, how much targeting are you using? Well, she does regional campaigns. She's like, that's the only targeting I'm doing. Like if I'm trying to fill up, a concert in Denver, I'm just doing the Colorado market. That's all. Yeah. But that's all my targeting.
Here's what's fun too is, and I don't want anybody to think like this is like, BS, that kind of stuff. If we look at this one campaign that we've doubled, 93%, 71% more new customers last 14 days. If I go into edit this ad set, I can still suggest an audience. My suggestion was like, hey, let's take out the 18 to 24-year-olds because if it helps, that's great. Maybe not a lot of 18-year-old kids that have dogs who are looking about their immunity. Right. Other than that, I'm like, that's a one for sure. I would say I would rather not. If I get it, fine. I still do get 18 to 24-year-olds. It happens all the time. It's still 15% of my traffic. Would it have been 30? Maybe, but it is trying to snuff it. So that's as far as we've taken our targeting. Please know if you can. Yeah. Thank you.
That's interesting. I mean, I think even if you did have just 18 to 65, what is it? 64 plus, 65 plus?
Fine.
Like Meta would figure it out eventually.
We've probably would have gotten clicks, maybe gotten a few sales, maybe they're more expensive, and then it would have just been like as soon as the cost cap hop on, they're dead and gone anyway. Right. So right. And I think that's a really interesting part about this whole thing is that like your creative does the targeting. Like that's it. That's the reason why if you launch multiple campaigns, there's a massive amount of overlap if you have the same ad. It just makes it's the creative doing the targeting, not you. It's actually AI interpreting your ad and then going and finding its own audience on its own. But I have different campaigns. Does the AI care? No. Does the creative care? No. But my ad set is spent. Does the AI care? No. Does the ad care? No. Like that's the thing too, is like we can ask it to try to avoid stuff. It wasn't going to be a pass or fail dependent upon it. Like it would be where people are like, well, I'm excluding all of my existing customers. Like that's the wish list.
They're saying, thank you very much for showing us who to show it to.
I know that was your that was on your Christmas list this year, but let me tell you something about Santa Claus.
It's a little secret.
She may not be.
All you kids just
that's why I was like, you know what? Hey, that's why I was like, let me tell you.
Close your ears. We don't want it to we don't want any kids watching the show. Anyway, 25 plus, I think, is our audience here on the.
That was the only suggestion that we had. Which again, it's a suggestion. It's not a law. It's not a rule. It's not an inclusion. It's not an exclusion. It's a suggestion. Like that tells you how much your targeting is taken seriously. It says, oh, thanks. we'll take it into consideration if you're right.
Have you ever seen a strategy like this or a methodology like this expand a marketplace? Like you're in the, for this example that we've used dozens and dozens of times here on the Ad Lab is in the dog space. I mean, it's like dog owners come in and out because obviously there's dogs that are going to be sick and then they're going to get well. And then there's like this constant infusion into the market and a rotation in the market. But have you ever seen anything like this expand a market? Because like a couple of clients, like the client we were just on a call with, he's like, I feel like we've sort of tapped out our market right now. They're in the dating niche. It's like, you will never tap out that market, really. And this allows you. Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, like you're not scaling, you're not spending $1 million a day in this market. But I mean, I know in some other markets, you're, doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. So where is that? Like if somebody feels like they have tapped out their market, is Andromeda the solution, or is it solution with, a disclaimer there?
Yeah, we have that one client that spends $250,000 a day. Yeah, we've kind of tapped out. A lot of people that I've talked to have heard about the brand. Now, have they bought it? Have they tried it? No, they've heard about it. Okay. So at that point in time, it's, well, maybe we didn't hit the right pain point, hook, and offer. So if you are like, yeah, it's like, hey, have you heard of, Mountain Dew? You're like, I've heard of it. You're like, have you tried Mountain Dew? No. Well, you're still my targeting then. I just haven't convinced you yet.
Right.
So my question is have they tapped out everybody that's looking to date and are on Facebook as an example? The answer might be yes. They have 100 million impressions and there's approximately maybe 100 million people that could date. Maybe some of them are married, but they still want to date. There's 100 million people. Okay, cool. Now, have you gotten a click from everyone? No. There's still work to be done technically. I mean, you're not talking about exponential growth after that, but 5% of 100 million is still a big leap up. So that's my question. I guess I would say is, unless you say, hey, we've tapped out our market because we've done every ad possible, every hook, every pain point, every offer, every product development, we've even increased our effectiveness of our product / service 20x this last 2 years, and still no one cares. Okay, once you can prove that, then yes. I don't think that that's happened yet, because otherwise eHarmony would still be like, I can't get Meta to spend.
Yeah, right. But there is probably a top level of spend that you can spend there.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
I mean, you're going to plateau, but you could still, but once you reach that level, a small blip up could still be $5 million net profit that year.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I do think, I mean, you're answering the question, but which is no market is, limitless. However, this is, as far as I have seen, one of the best ways and one of the best methodologies to expand the market and to deliver your brand message to a wider audience and expand your personal TAM for your brand.
Yep.
Unlike anything else that I've ever seen in this platform, and it certainly seems like that is the case. I mean, obviously every market has its limits, but in the dating market, they're spending $100,000 a month. It's like, I know for a fact you could probably spend 5-10x that, is my guess, in their specific niche, but you have to obviously do the research. But Andromeda's this update has allowed a lot of businesses to be able to expand far beyond what they thought using more traditional means. That's for damn sure.
I haven't tapped out a market yet. Like, we're still growing with that company that spends $250K a day. Like, it's growth. It's small. It's short. It's growth, but we're also pretty much just in Meta. So that's the other part too, is like, we haven't actually reached into like the TikTok, I'm not going to go to App 11. That's just apps remarketing, but TikTok and, Snapchat would be very small. TV, CTV, we haven't done that yet. Google is still just direct response, non-brand standard shopping. It works well. It can scale up. Programmatic. I mean, there's many other channels we can go into. Yes. Now, can we use Meta as our creative testing environment for all channels? Absolutely. I mean, now, here's another thing that's funny. I was actually going to mention is Nike makes $4.94 billion annually. There's only $320 million humans in the United States, as an example. Now, I know Nike's global, but 320 million humans, they're not all Nike buyers. And a lot of them aren't even old enough to wear Nikes. If you think about the kids between the ages of 0 and 5, you take out probably like 30 million. They've been able to extract $15.44 per person alive in the United States every year. So it's fun. Even if you didn't buy their shoes, if you're like 320 million people all gave them $15 every year, that's their gross profit. So it's massive, massive. And it's like, can you wear shoes? Yes. Well, if you're interested in dating, there's probably 1/3 of that, but where's your 2 billion this year?
Right.
So I would say, I don't really see many people that have really saturated the market enough. Now, could they scale up a campaign in Meta until it hits a point of diminishing returns? Absolutely. But we're talking about everything else in history. No, you can still do a lot more, but maybe you just don't want to, or that's not the goal of the company. It makes a lot of sense. But I have seen it grow in industry. Remember Nito?
Yeah. Yep.
Nito, it did. Like, that's something we still do. We do a lot of marketing for that agency, which is super niche. It's a Montessori marketing school. They still
finite number of schools. That's
16,000, and it's still growing, but it is expanding the way that schools are thinking about their business. So it is growing a market, because right there, we didn't really have a bunch of 40, 50-year-old female school owners who have never touched a computer in a marketing sense. We didn't have a lot of those people knocking on our door saying, I'd like this, but now we do. So it did grow a market for sure. Yeah, I would say it's absolutely possible. Now, the other thing I was going to think about, though, is you made a point earlier where you have, the clicks versus the conversions. I was one of the earlier adopters into saying it looks like Google and Meta are moving towards, do you want traffic or do you want conversions? Like, you can only choose one or the other.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those are two different profiles on people. So can you grow a market if you're only doing converters? No, because they have to say, I'm in the market and now I'm in your targeting.
Right.
The non-market, those are things like the feeder strategy to run view content. Those feeder campaigns that we run view contents, that will grow a market. Now, you need both of those to continue to scale because you're feeding yourself your own users. But yes, like if I'm doing a conversion campaign, it's my assumption that Google has people that they have already indicated that they're in the market or would be in the market or taking action for something like this that could be in the market soon. And I'm saturating that entire market. And so far, we're spending like $600,000 a month, and we still haven't hit our ceiling yet. So. Yeah, there's a still pretty good amount of room to grow.
Have you looked at your reach on those campaigns, like in the dog space? They're like global reach, like unique reach.
Oh,
because unique, reach is sort of relative, because like there's people that are coming in and out of that market. Obviously, there are dogs that are becoming less sick and more sick as the market expands. So looking at that would be an interesting thing.
Yeah, like this one here is a small company. This is like the Venera one, spending about $13K. This is only in Ireland and UK, and starting to not hit saturation, but starting to kind of fatigue a bit. We can kind of see that the ads that we started with are scaling up a little bit in spend, but we're starting to see like a little bit of a softening lately. So we're going to do a creative iteration. That's the next thing. So like it's relative, I think, to the location of the audience.
Just might mean you need a creative refresh.
For sure. I mean, like now a creative refresh means like, hey, we burned through all the people that we think need to see this ad, and now it's heading on the other side. Now, could it expand further? Yeah, absolutely. Did it? No, it could. Probably not. It needs more data. But when we do the creative refresh, yes. But we hit 12 million people a month in terms of impressions. Reach is 4 million. So, I mean, when you're spending 329,000 and you're getting 1/100th of the population in the United States, not too bad. So there's still a lot of room to grow.
There's a lot of room to grow.